Thank you very much, Chairman. Good morning, councillors. We're just here to provide a reasonably quick report back on the mayoral-led business delegation up to Los Angeles in June. That was a piece of work that was mandated by this committee in October last year, so we thought it was timely to report back on how that went. I have with me here two of my colleagues, Coral Dickinson, who is the Program Manager for the Tripartite Economic Alliance, and Darren Grant from ATEED, who is the Project Lead for the Tripartite Summit in Auckland in May next year. We do have a little bit of a slide pack. We won't take too long. We're going to go through what the tripartite is to remind those people that perhaps don't recall that item last year, why it's important for us, show you a little bit of footage of what happened up in Los Angeles in June, have two of the business delegates that attended the delegation to Los Angeles talk about what happened for them on the delegation, next steps for the summit next year, and then of course feedback and questions. The Tripartite Economic Alliance is a world-first three-city agreement with two of Auckland's most important international partners, Los Angeles and Guangzhou. It seeks trade, investment and economic outcomes at a deeper and more tangible level and spans both sides of the Pacific and supports Auckland's position as the strategic gateway into Asia and North America. It was signed in Guangzhou in November last year and is for a 3-year agreement, renewable by mutual agreement at that time if it's working well. The first summit for the Tripartite Economic Alliance occurred in Los Angeles in June. Oh, thanks. And the Mayor, accompanied by Councillors Crum and Cashmore, led 43 Auckland businesses up to Los Angeles for that summit and related meetings. The summit was hosted by the Mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, and it provided Auckland delegates the chance to meet with the mayors of both Los Angeles and Guangzhou and their respective business delegations to explore business and investment opportunities. I'm not going to labour on about what happened for those delegates. We've got some great footage here that I'd like to show you. It's a 3-minute video, so if we can click onto that.
How did you know?
Oh, sound.
Is this Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Can we hear it? Want to know what they're saying?
Good one.
No, it doesn't.
It's giving us a flavour for those who have disabilities.
One thing you can understand that never works in here. Oh, lots of play. I meant some of the other day.
I'll have to email it to us.
Do a voiceover.
Dubbing.
I'll get your staff and they can have coffee.
I think they have a comedic background.
Irish.
Sorry, if you.
That's all right.
We'll get the staff to come and see if they can get that part
Oh, this is looking better.
get it to work.
Bloody hell.
Would you like me to carry on in the
Yes,
meantime?
yes,
or-
if you wouldn't mind.
So actually, I wanted to, through you, the Chair, invite the Mayor to give his reflections on how the trip went and also to introduce the two business delegates that are here with us so they can also share their thoughts.
Okay, councillors, it's great to get the opportunity now of feeding back and also doing it in a framework that gives a sense of the types of benefits that are that we see as coming from this trade delegation and the tripartite. It's a shame that half have disappeared out, actually, because this is an initiative that has huge benefits to us as a city. I guess one of the reasons why we were brought together was really to promote Auckland as the main international city to the globe. Two focuses: one, to build business links out into the world and to act as a conduit for the business community into the world, and secondly, to encourage investment, visitors and migration to our city and to the country, and encourage talent to come back in. So the tripartite basically puts together a $1 trillion economic bloc. Guangzhou with a city of around $300 billion US GDP, LA with $600 billion, and of course us with about 80 to 100 billion. So it's a very, very big trading bloc, around 30 million people. The summit, first one hosted in LA, was was an outstanding success. The business community that came with us, 48 business people in total, all of them had a very, very positive reflection on how they felt it went for them, and most had significant economic benefits coming straight out of it. I guess one of the things that we've been most focused on the last 5 years with our city relationships is that they not only have political and cultural benefits, but in fact they have economic benefits. So we stuck very clear KPIs in beside this tripartite, and the KPIs were basically about what sort of economic benefits, jobs, benefit to the businesses who were there, and the wider economic sectors of Auckland that we would see. You're going to hear this morning from Mike Masterton from Everedge IP and from John McDermott from Digital Water, their own specific instances, but I encourage you to read the report. In a very short space of time you'll see who got what benefits personally and what sort of benefits and potential job creation that we will see from the tripartite. I think the second thing that we need to reflect on is next year we are hosting. So we're going to see massive delegations coming out of Los Angeles and Guangzhou. The chief focuses for that hosting in May will be ports, it will be tourism, including our airports, and looking to get an MOU between LAX, GZ and AKL airports, and in particular it'll be high-tech new innovation. And we have the opportunity to show Auckland at its very best. We will all be a part of it. And we really want to turn it on for these two cities when they come in here with their mayors. So a particularly exciting possibility next year for leveraging these relationships and getting a lot of economic gain and benefit specifically out of our involvement and our encouragement and promotion of the city globally. I want to acknowledge Bill and Denise, who are outstanding. Really, they work very closely with the business community, and they were, like every other council who's come away with me on trade delegations the last 4 or 5, did outstanding work and really represented the city well. So well done, you guys. And Sancha and her team, huge logistical. It's probably the twice as large as any other delegation we've ever taken out before. And you guys did a really great job in logistics. So, Mr. Chair, looking forward to hearing now from Michael and John.
We think we can get the video to go now, so. Down?
Video never works in here. Might just...
Celebrate the launch of the Tripartite Economic Alliance Summit between Los Angeles, Auckland and Guangzhou.
We are a global leader in our small field of nanofibre. It's a very fledgling industry that is really starting to take off globally. We've got some excellent traction in the US, and the timing is perfect for us to be going on a delegation such as this.
We're very excited to host the first tripartite event. It's a wonderful thing. We've had a great bilateral relationship between Los Angeles and Auckland, but having 3 very important cities involved in this is a wonderful opportunity for all of the businesses that will be taking part. They'll get a chance to meet each other, learn from each other, and create what we hope will be meaningful, long-lasting relationships.
Often people ask the question, what is the value of sister city relationships? And I think that going to LA with so many New Zealand businesses that are paying their way and see the value in being on the ground there with LA and Guangzhou speaks for itself.
We were born in Auckland, so we take a lot of our Kiwi number 8 mentality and apply that to products around the world and ship them out of Auckland still. We still ship all of our products out of Auckland as our base for manufacturing.
An incredible group of people from New Zealand trying to learn about LA and how to grow and innovate their businesses. So I decided to come and share what I know about the US market and the global marketplace.
We sometimes assume it's a developed relationship, but it's not. We've only just begun. And so this delegation coming here is a huge opportunity to kick that relationship on and actually take those opportunities.
I really believe this mission, the tripartite meetings of the 3 countries, is very important for business. And I think that I originally reached out to Brett O'Reilly from Mateed to investigate after he was interviewed in the New Zealand Herald to find out more about this. So we jumped on board straight away and his team has been fantastic.
I'm here with our Mayor, Len Brown. Now, first of all, what a success this has been from your point of view.
Yeah, look, fantastic, and the hope of getting some real energy, clear cooperation, and just sheer enjoyment out of the relationship between Guangzhou and LA. It's absolutely manifested itself. It's been brilliant first 2 days, lots of matchmaking between the businesses, great relationship between myself, Mayor Eric and Mayor Jianhua, so really pleased with progress thus far.
There you go. We have the two businesses here as well, so I'll let them crack straight into it.
Right, so microphone's on now. So good morning, my name's John McDermott. I'm Development Manager at Digital Water. So I'll briefly give some background on our business and how the visit to LA has accelerated our potential. So we're a small startup technology business developing a smart water meter and control valve system that's targeted at urban residential properties. And by going to LA, my goal by going over there was to have a meeting with Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. They're the biggest urban utility in America. Now, as a startup from overseas, having a meeting like that is probably near impossible to achieve. But by taking part in this delegation and using that mayoral relationship, they were able to arrange that meeting for us. So I just want to acknowledge Denise Crum accompanied me to that meeting. We had over an hour with them explaining our technology, and they gave us some extremely positive feedback of the value and relevance of what we're doing to their city. And they're encouraging us to take part, set up in a trial over there, and have formed a relationship with the Los Angeles Clean Tech Incubator to help accelerate us into the market there. So in addition to making that relationship in America, it also gives us a lot of credibility back here locally. So also taking from that visit, we're able to form relationships with some of the other delegation members, and it also helps us with a relationship with Watercare in doing trials locally to prove and validate the technology. So for us as a business, it gives us confidence that there is a market opportunity out there that's very valuable, and it gives the business owner the confidence of continuing to invest in the technology, and that the technology performs its application well, and that there is a customer base out there that's excited to see it in the market. Okay. Thank you.
Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael Masterson. I'm the head of commercial for Everidge. For those of you who don't know Everidge, we're actually the world's largest IP strategy and management firm. What's interesting is 8 years ago we were born out of Takapuna, otherwise known as Tekapuna, and we've now developed offices into London, San Diego. As a result of this trip, we've now opened up a Los Angeles office. We'll be announcing our Sydney office next week. We've recently had people like Sir Ralph Norris, Michael Stiasny come on board as investors, and we are really helping companies understand what their intangible assets are. There's an economic conversion going on with balance sheets, and we are literally the thought leader in this space at the moment. We're presenting at conferences globally around the world as the keynote speaker, and I must admit, we were highly skeptical of this trip. We went on it through some conversations we had in particular with Charlotte, who encouraged us that this would be worth having a go. I've got to say, I love being wrong. And I also have to say that this trip was probably catalytic for us in terms of not only bringing on board a guy that we were thinking about hiring in LA, but we were skeptical because, of course, San Francisco is what everyone talks about. In particular, we work with everyone from very early stage companies, literally companies like Unleashed, Vigil, who you may know of, going right through to the Orions, Wynyards, Comcast, who's one of the biggest companies in the US, and others. So for us to take time out, in particular when we're doubling in size, typically every 6 to 8 months, was pretty major for us. What was interesting is that, I mean, we were averaging about 3 hours sleep a night, and the only person I think that got less sleep than me was probably Len, Denise and Bill, and the AT staff. I've never seen a team work so hard. In fact, I felt guilty leaving them at night when they were still going, in particular Luella, who I don't think slept at all. We got some amazing introductions. We're now onto our second project with a $3 billion US defence contractor. We're in the process of being engaged by a $20 billion medical device company. What was also interesting is that we've been able to make connections as a direct result of that trip with Laird Hamilton, which if you've been on an Air New Zealand flight lately, he's the guy who's the last guy in the Air New Zealand video at the moment. He's a big wave surfer and incredibly connected to the Glitterati. It is opening up a number of doors for us. What was really interesting is that we, as a result of that trip, we've been invited to a thing called Summit. And Summit is kind of like the entrepreneur's version of Davos. You've got to be invited to Summit. From what we've been told, we're the only New Zealand attendees that have ever been invited to attend, and we've got 2 going to a cruise. Now, the people that go to this are people like Eric Schmidt, who's the current chairman of Google, the founder of Uber, Martha Stewart, John Legend, the founders of MTV, AOL, the founder of Woodstock, Ken Howry, who was the guy that founded PayPal, the founder of Dropbox, the founder of WordPress, the founder of Vine, the founder of SoundCloud, and it just keeps going on and on and on. These are absolutely world-class disruptors and thinkers. We're already talking to them about the possibility of potentially hosting a summit in New Zealand at some time. Last but not least, I just got to say a personal thanks to Len for your support. It was unwielding. To Denise, to Bill, to Sasha, Brett O'Reilly, Coru and Darren, it has been absolutely transformative for us. You know, we're in the process of opening up offices in Asia, and we have absolutely been convinced of the value of doing trade missions. So thanks, guys.
Question, or you want to comment?
Well, I'm sure Bill and I would like to make a comment at some point, Mr. Chair, but if you want questions ahead of that.
Or maybe we have questions, because you've got an extra
oh, really?
part of the motion, haven't you?
Yep, so we'll just take that whenever you're
Yeah,
ready.
okay.